We look at some of the events around what has been happening. And the most interesting one, of course, was the announcement that Jasprit Bumrah is going to be the vice captain. Normally, in the home series, they don't bother with a vice captain. The captain goes, he just looks and says, okay, you till I come back from the loo. But this time they've gone through. And I just wonder if that's looking at it further too, saying, okay, when India go to Australia, is Jasprit Bumrah going to be your vice captain? Your contenders were Shubman Gill, your contenders were Rishabh Pant, but they've gone with Jasprit Bumrah, who also, if you remember, was captain in the last Test match in England. You like the idea of Jasprit Bumrah being the designated vice captain?
Definitely for the series, and I can understand even for Australia series, in case we don't have a captain for the first match, nominated captain Rohit Sharma, then Bumrah makes sense. In the long run, Harsha, if he's just going to do one format, then it is definitely a good choice, Bumrah. But if he's going to do all three formats, then I think it's literally impossible. It's a fast bowler, body is always under stress. You never know whether he can play all the matches. But for the moment, I think it's the fairest decision possible, purely because the fact that he's a senior statesman, he's a genius in his bowling, and most importantly, he did very well. Not very well, he did captain a match against England. I think it's a challenge for him because captaincy is something very new to him. He is not someone who's captained anywhere so far, but he's a leader in many ways, the way he goes about with the ball. So I can completely understand where this decision comes from, and it's a very fair one.
And I can also understand what DK is trying to say here, because when the white ball captaincy moved from Hardik Pandya to Surya Kumar Yadav, one of the things they said was, Hardik, we don't know, given your fitness levels, whether you'll be available for every white ball game. We want you to be available for every white ball game. And I think that principle holds good with Jasprit Bumrah as well. The options, of course, are Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill. In a one-off situation, here's one for you and your good friend. Pat Cummins didn't play a test match last year, and Steve Smith slotted in as captain and led brilliantly. If it's a one off game in Australia, who understands Australia better than any other Indian player is Virat Kohli. Can you say, purely as a one off, I know Virat, in your mind, you might have moved on. I don't know in his mind if he's moved on. You know him well. Can you come back and captain as a one off in a one off test match?
For sure. I think he'll be open to it if it's just a one test match. He's obviously moved away from captaincy for reasons best known to him, which he feels was best for his cricket, for his family, etc. But if you tell him it's just a one test match, I think he'll be more than happy to come and lead India. At the end of the day, knowing him, all he wants is to do well for India, and whatever it takes for India to win is what he'll do. And hence, definitely open to it if required.
If Rohit has to miss that game, and Rohit's missing that game, I think it's an open secret. There's a child on the way. So if Rohit does miss that game, you also want an opener. Now, here, there are 3 or 4 names. I think Abhimanyu Eashwaran is a front runner. He went and got another 100 in the second innings in the Ranji Trophy as well. So there's Abhimanyu Eashwaran. There's Devdutt Padikkal from Karnataka, left-hander as well. I think happier at the top of the order than in the middle. There's Ruturaj Gaikwad. I don't know why he batted 4 for Maharashtra in this game. I don't know if it was an injury, but he batted 4 for Maharashtra. And there's Sai Sudarshan of Tamil Nadu. Can you look beyond these 4, or will you say if it's a one-off, I don't mind having Shubman Gill to open the batting in a one-off test match, like Ollie Pope did for England. KL Rahul slots in at 3, Sarfaraz slots in the middle because it's a one-off test.
I think they'll go in with a pure opener, Harsha, because you'd have to make one too many changes just to fit in an opener for one test, knowing it's only going to be for one test. Because, mind you, Rohit is sure to get back for the second test, and there's also a good break after the first test. So I would definitely look at one of these 4 names without a shadow of doubt. I will not burden Shubman Gill with opening, then KL Rahul will come at 3, then you will fit in Sarfraz probably at 5. There's one too many changes for one slot, so I'll go in with an opener.